things have been going extremely well in the league as we've seen over the last few episodes, but today we turn our attention to the FA Cup, a competition that we've had quite a lot of success in, or relative success to obviously our stature. Today we play Birmingham City, probably one of our hardest first round team draws in terms of recent developments though in the league, but as you can see in terms of the game off camera, it went exactly as we thought it was going to, right? We're playing a bigger team that's around us. We managed to win 2-0. Cole Branningham getting on the score sheet twice. He was actually playing as a attacking midfielder on the left. Maybe that's actually a better position for him, which is slightly annoying because I bought him as a cam to replace McEachran for obviously when he retires and to start dripping him into the first team more. But hey, he scored twice. If he's scoring, I don't really care where he plays. But in terms of what that does to the league, we are currently sitting second, joint on points with the team in third, and 2 points gap over fourth, with the second best goal difference in the division, with the least conceded in the division as well, like we always are. That seems to be like a trademark stamp of ours, that we consistently are solid at the back. And of course, the way that we set up the team and the players that we do bring in, we always think of making sure we've got a strong defence to start with before going any further. Good news is Killer Ferrari still performing absolutely above expectations, still training absolutely fantastically. So hopefully, you know, this might change into potential leading Championship or even Premier League player. But I am expecting come January there be some interest. No interest yet, which I suppose is still a good thing for us, I suppose. Now, we've got a couple of players who are starting to return from injury. We obviously rotated a little bit when we played Northampton, so I'm just going to put the right players in the right positions. Okay, so I've had a little tweak around. I've pretty much quickly just done that off camera in regards to the starting 11. So we are actually going to play Pinnington in this competition. Reason why is he keeps knocking at the door, saying that he's not playing enough. He wants to potentially leave. He's going to kick up a fuss. He's a highly influential player, and I don't want anything sort of derailing the system. So if I can just pacify him until January, then my plan is to just get him shipped out of the club. Briggs is also in need of a bit of a rest. So Briggs is, sorry, not Briggs. Briggs is going to come in at centre-back because Skara needs a little bit of a rest. So I'm going to have Briggs partnering Johnson. Is that a good idea? Or should I just play Skara? Maybe I'll just start Skara and then bring on Briggs. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so here is your starting 11 for the game against Birmingham City. Right in goal, defence of Pinnington, Johnson, Skara and Killer Ferrari. Gromek and Shuaib in the centre, holding midfield roles. We've then got Figueroa on the left, on the right-hand side, Murray Holmes down the middle, and Francis out on the left, with Hugh Gill leading the line. Hopefully, the players can still keep obviously up that goal scoring form that we've been in recently. I think I'm going to say here, we're on a good run. Let's carry on and do that, shall we? I'm not going to say if we carry on from our last match because, of course, it's a different type of opposition in the FA Cup. We are at home, so, you know, we do have the home advantage of the MG Group Stadium. But, of course, it is a step up in opposition with playing a League One outfit. Birmingham are playing in their all red away kit, and of course we are in our typical home kit of blue and white. But a big game this afternoon. Now, obviously we've gone on some nice cup runs before. Do I want to go on a cup run this season? Absolutely. You know, it brings extra money into the club. But in the same breath, I mean, we'll go 1-0 down. But in the same breath, if we do exit the FA Cup at this stage, it almost allows us to concentrate on the league that little bit more, right? And with obviously how the league campaign started, maybe that's something that we want to focus on a little bit more. Who knows? But early in the game so far, 1-0 down, 6 minutes played. What can we do to turn this around, or can we turn this around? I've got full faith in the club and the squad to be able to do that. Pinnington needs to be tracking his man, or at least closing him down a little bit more. The tracking was fine, sorry, but obviously closing him down and getting a little bit more into him. I'm going to encourage the boys. Just give them that little bit of encouragement. Of course, you know, they've had a flutter. This first 10 minutes of the game, they've come in off the blocks and obviously gone right at us. Pinnington there making a mistake. He's just moved too far forward. And then what is he doing there? Fouling him. Free kick here to Birmingham. Ball comes back across, and I mean, Wright also doesn't cover himself in glory there, but I'm fully blaming Pennington for that. That just goes to show why you've not been playing for me. You know what I mean? Touchline shout. Demand more from him. Been absolutely bloody awful. 2-0 down. Like I was saying, though, if we do go out of the FA Cup, I'm not that concerned. You know, the league takes a bit more precedence this season. That's a wayward pass. This is the problem. We're playing against a team that is slightly higher than us in the terms of the ratings, and we're playing like Hugo scores them all day, right? But we're playing like we don't even know how to play football at this moment in time. Hey-ho, that's what happens. Same as what happened with Wigan last season when we were 2-0 up, then we lost 5-2. Who knows, maybe we can come back and win this 5-2 this afternoon. Ferreri here on the free kick. Cuts it back across into Zach, into Gromek. Back to Zach. Lovely little build-up play here. Hugill, Murray Holmes gets tackled, but Murray Holmes picks up the loose ball. We get one back. We've got a little bit of pride back. Come on. 20 minutes played. It's definitely a game that we can still turn around. And if we do get through to the second round of the FA Cup, FM gods, please give us a team that's, you know, either in the same division as us or lower division than us. All we get in terms of the draws are teams that have always been higher, apart from in the qualifying rounds, which when we had to play the qualifying rounds, you expect to play lower league oppositions, right? Especially when we was in the National League, because that's the highest league you can be in for qualifying. But hopefully we get a little bit more of a favourable draw if we wish to get into that second round of the FA Cup. But of course, a lot of football here still to play, and we ain't going to go through if we do things like that. Hopefully it's offside. It is. It did look a little bit offside, but also you just never know with regards to the pace of a League One striker, whether they were just in behind or not. 35 minutes played, we're getting heavily dominated on the possession, so we might have to consider maybe overloading that midfield a little bit. There is a little bit of a gap there in both of their formations, so we could potentially look at doing that. Corner in from them here. What we don't want to do is concede a third before half-time. If we can go in 2-1, that's salvageable, you know. We're going 3-1 down, that's a harder hill to climb. So far, the whole team isn't really playing great. We're not getting much at all from the wide players. We're not getting much from Hugill. Pinnington's not been playing well, so he's coming off. And I think I want to see a much better performance in the second half. So he's going to come off. Briggs is coming on. Other than that, I might give him another run out. I mean, Francis is, to be fair, he's getting knackered. So I'm going to take Francis off. Give him a little bit of a rest. To be fair, Pinnington could probably do with coming. Hugill could probably do with coming off as well, but we won't do that right yet. I will bring Scara off and put on Francis just to give him a little bit of a rest. And I won't make any other changes other than that. I'll send them out just like that. 3 changes. I think that's fair. Then 3 changes. Scara needs a rest. I don't really want to risk an injury in the FA Cup. Same with Francis. You know, we've got a lot of football to focus on in the league. So if we can focus on that without the risk of injuries, yes, you know, ideally we want to go through in the FA Cup, but if we can't, then we can't. It is what it is. It was never an objective of ours of winning the FA Cup. Could you imagine if we went on and won this and then won the FA Cup with Oxford City? That would be an achievement and a half. But there's a lot of football still to play, but like I said, we go out, that's absolutely fine. We want to concentrate on the league. There's a chance, you know, we carry on performing the way we're performing. There's a chance we're going up automatically to League One. Whether that means we'll be coming straight back down, who knows? But at least it'll be to back promotions on the old CV, which would look good and do wonders, hopefully, for the finances of the club. You would think we wouldn't go into more debt by going into League One. The debt doesn't really change at the moment. It has sort of carried on going up. We're going to take Zach off and bring Dario on. Brannigan. He just doesn't read the pace. Oh, he does well to bring the ball back, though. Francis, Gromek, Zach, Shalabai, Murray Holmes. Lovely ball for Ferreri. Chesses it down nicely. Deep cross in, but Hugill just can't get there. Comes off the loose ball. Hugill passes it to Murray Holmes, and he scores. For some reason, the highlight ended really quickly then, but here we go. We get to see the goal again here. It was a lovely, composed layoff here by Hugill, and that's that shorter passing that we're talking about, and he rockets that into the top corner. 2-2. Game on. Game is on. I'm going to praise the boys for bringing it back to 2-2. Let's see if we can go on and get a winner. Who knows? Francis into Johnson. We're risking ourselves a little bit then. They're playing with an almighty high press. Oh, never mind. It lasted all of about 5 minutes, the hopes that we might be able to go on and win it. We've sort of brought that on ourselves, really, with that wayward passing. Why Francis decided to play that into Johnson and put unnecessary pressure on him, I don't know. He had lots of options there. Wright kicks it downhill, down into Hugill. Murray Holmes picks up on the loose ball, takes it past one, takes it past two. Oh my God, he takes it past all of them. It's like a messy run. Back into Gromek. And Murray Holmes, he's got a hat-trick in the FA Cup. God, he's showing the Sky Bet League One teams why they should sign him. That's not good for us. I wish he scored off of that run there, though, when he cut it in and then banged it. That would have been very nice. But 3-3. Here we go, boys and girls. What can we do from this position? We've always fought our way back in. Can we now get a fourth? 3-3. Anything's possible. But of course, there is still the threat from Birmingham that they could get a fourth, which would be a little bit heartbreaking considering we've brought it back to 3-3. They've made a couple of changes. We're not going to make any other changes right now. We've already made 4. I'm looking at maybe 1 or 2 other changes we could make in a moment. But we've got 5 minutes of added time. We're in the first minute of that now. A highlight here from Birmingham. And, you know, having this game play out for 3-3 is good for the players' confidence, most certainly. And we're getting there. Wright could have collected that, surely. It's going to go out for a corner. Luckily, we won't see it. Should we make any other changes? We probably should. I'm going to do that. Briggs is going to come in the centre-back position, and we're going to bring Pendleton on. I don't know if that's smart, because that means both of our natural centre-backs are now out, and they've been subbed off. But I have to think of the long-term objective. Long-term objective is the league. Might not matter here anyway. It may not be going to extra time. Killer Ferreri's there. Gromek gets rid of the danger, and it goes out for full time. I think that means it goes to extra time, annoyingly. Why can't this just go to penalties? I'm going to say you weren't that bad, but I think you can improve to all of them. Well, I mean, apart from Murray Holmes, he definitely can't improve. Do we get any more subs? I don't think we can make any other subs now, which is a shame. But then again, anyone else that we'd bring on is well and truly, well, apart from... I'm going to take him off on a hat-trick. I don't want to risk him getting injured. Hopefully he can take that momentum into the game against Barnsley that we've got next. That's what we've got to think about, and this is why I'm taking some of them key players off. We've got Barnsley, top of the league, in the next game. Of course, Birmingham City score straight from the start of extra time. Of course they would. We have to think about that game against Barnsley. You know, one eye on the league. Their league leaders. Getting 3 points against them would be a nice precedent. So far, 4-3. It's annoying because I'd rather of them have just scored that in full time. You know what I mean? Rather than it going to extra time and knackering my players out. Rather than playing another half an hour of football to still lose by them scoring straight from kickoff in the extra time. I'd rather lose on penalties than lose that way. But 3-4 on the score sheet, or 4-3 should I say. Can we get into this? Can we score one more equaliser to bring it to 4-4? Can we take it to penalties? It goes out for a throw-in. We're going to see the highlight. Gromek into Pendleton. Pendleton with the ball in. No one's there, unfortunately, but Killer Ferreri picks up the loose ball. Deep cross in. Hugill tried to get there. Dario puts it in. It's pinging everywhere. Unfortunately, we can't capitalise. We may as well go positive at this point, because we may as well just die on our sword at this rate. If we're going to lose, we may as well lose 5-3. With the chance of potentially bringing it to 4-4. Gromek. Pendleton. Into McEachran. Hugill. Hugill takes his man on. Lovely. He's been disappointing this afternoon. But as we know, he doesn't like big matches. Oh, who's number 13? Because they're out injured. He's just come back from injury as well. Figueroa. I'm pretty sure that's not Figueroa. I should probably get the pronunciation of that right. And I might do that after this. But he's only just come back from injury and he's going to be out again by the looks of it. Last 7 minutes of extra time. Can we peg them back and get another equaliser? We love playing that short ball across the pitch. I don't think I've ever asked them to do that between the centre-backs. I want the goalkeeper to play it out short and then you to ping the balls forward. I don't want you just playing between yourselves. 2 minutes of added time. It's probably going to be all she wrote. It is a 4-3 loss in the end to Birmingham. I mean, I'm going to say I'm proud of your efforts, but it just wasn't to be today. I think that's fair. We're only going to get 3.2k though from this FA Cup run this season, which isn't great. Johnson is in dire needs of a rest. It's hard because he's one of our best centre-backs, along with Skara. He needs a rest, but he can't have a rest against Barnsley. Maybe after that we'll give him a rest. So the plan is now to bring us forward to the Barnsley game. Hopefully, you know, they're top of the league. We can beat them. We set a real precedent. We're only then going to go 6 points. No, 5 points behind them at the top. So really, we're going to need to win this. If anyone's going to chase them, we need to be winning this type of game. So here we go. We are here at the Barnsley game. As you can see, the players aren't fully recovered after that game against Birmingham. Of course not. It was only a couple of days ago. So it is quite frustrating that we've had all of these big games all sort of fall on top of one another. Holland's still not back fit. I've brought in Archibald to play on the wing because, of course, he picked up another knock, so he's not fully fit or match sharp. Gromek needs a rest, so we're bringing in Dario to play. Then Clark and Campbell, they're not really going to add anything. Mellor's injured. He could be at least on the bench, I suppose. It gives us a little bit something different. Take Francis off. Yeah, I don't think there's much else we're going to do here other than having them players play. I think that's going to be our starting 11 for today's game. And here's the team sheet for the game against Barnsley. James Wright in goal, a defensive Briggs, Johnson, Skara and Killer Ferreri, Zach and Dario in the holding midfield roles, with Archibald, Murray Holmes and Francis in the attacking midfield roles, with of course Joe Hugill leading the line. Hopefully after this we've got some of those bigger games out of the way and we can get a little bit of rotation into the squad, because we're starting to feel it and we're starting to feel the pressure in the starting 11. I've just said to the boys, we've got nothing to lose out there. We're the underdogs, and very much like we said to Crew, and obviously then we turned up and put an absolute performance in against them. So hopefully we can do the same today. Remember, Barnsley are top of the league. So a win today not only closes that gap on top of the league, it also gives us some very good confidence to then play off of, knowing that we've beaten the team who are currently in pole position. 2 minutes in, they've got a highlight here. We need to just stay compact, stay solid. We know we can score goals. We just need to make sure we don't concede goals. A lovely block there. Briggs gets the header, but of course no one's there to win the second ball. It comes straight back at us, and Francis is there to also head clear. I do like the defensive work that Francis puts in. He does seem to be quite good at tracking back and making sure he gets the headers in, which I like. You know, he puts in a lot of work on that left-hand side that he's on, which kind of is good because that means then Killer Ferreri can almost hug in a little bit more and almost goes to a natural free at the back, so to speak, with Killer Ferreri tucking in. Long ball downfield, no one's there, but we don't capitalise. Archibald isn't chasing or trying to press the fullback to try and win that from the mistake that he made, which is a little bit disappointing to see because our natural wingers probably would have done that. We are lucky so far. 2 last-ditch blocks to stop them the shot getting on target. Hugill just runs himself out of pace there. Not sure what he was even trying or intending to do there, really. But I'm sure whatever he was trying to do wasn't what he actually ended up doing, because he just made himself look a little bit silly, if we're honest. But 20 minutes in, so far, so good. Barnsley are pretty much going like for like in terms of our formations. They're using inside forwards, inside wingers. They've basically just copied us, right? So they know how good we are, and they're like, well, we might as well play like that. And then Wright with the save there. Beautiful save. Can we keep in the game? It's all been Barnsley so far. We've not seen a single highlight of a shot on target for us, and it was only a matter of time. They kept knocking and knocking. Disappointingly, they score from a corner. We're not going to watch it again because whoever wants to watch opposition goals, you know. It wants us to bring on McEachran already. I'm not sure who you want me to bring on. I'm not bringing McEachran on for Hugill at this time in the game. Archibald was there. Murray Holmes now. Hugill. Hugill plays the ball into Zach. Killer Ferrari. Can we get one back? Let's at least try and go in level at half-time. Hugill there. He'll be better off chesting that down. Come on, concentrate. That's a couple of times now we've seen him this game and last game where he's just not sort of thought about that final ball with that composure. We're again absolutely dominated. I think we're going to be dropping back to a 3 in midfield if this carries on this sort of way with the possession. I'm going to encourage the boys again. Try and at least let us get into half-time at 1-0 down. It's salvageable at 1-0. 2-0, we've got a little bit of a mountain to climb like we've said before. A free kick here in a dangerous area. Archibald's on top. Please don't shoot from there. Thinks it in. I mean, actually, you probably would have been better shooting. What was you even trying to achieve there? You're dinking it into Scara, who's a centre-back. He's not going to do much with it from there, is he? I'm going to say, show me something else in the second half. No one's playing well, to be fair. Archibald is not playing well at all. I'm going to bring him on, I think. Bring off Archibald. He's not impressing me right now. Put Francis there. That means McEachran's got to... This is the problem with him. Bloody injuries. Right, Hugo, you got to stay. Briggs can come off Pendleton. Or do I want Pennington? Let's give Pennington a run out. Let's see what he can do. Gromek. Do I want to bring Gromek on? Yeah, I'll bring Gromek on. They're going to be the changes that we're going to make. We need to be showing us something else in the second half. That was very lacklustre half. Not a single player had a rating over sort of 6.8, 6.9. So no one's been playing considerably well. No one's been playing considerably bad. But, you know, we want to be at least having some form of threat on goal against Barnsley. And so far we haven't made a single... Well, we haven't seen a single shot on target. Hugo has been losing every single ball. Francis intercepts that play. They were just trying to play it between themselves and waste time. Well, you ain't going to waste time at the moment, boys. Francis cuts in, takes a shot, but the goalkeeper saves it. Goes out for the corner. We will not see it, unfortunately. We've left Murray Holmes in that attacking midfield role for now. We need to try and get a footnote in, and if I take Murray Holmes and drop him back a little bit deeper, it could isolate Hugo a little bit more. Not that Hugo really has been sort of painting himself in glory. We're going to make that change now. I really want him to be doing as much as he can. I'm going to get him then pressing, and I'm going to change him to a centre midfielder. Just be a nuisance in that middle of the park. Try and keep the possession, keep the balls and the passes ticking away. Pennington, lovely ball for Hugo. Hugo's there. He's offside though. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. Joe Hugo's struggling and wants to be substituted. Yeah, so it's half the team because we've been playing every other day, it feels like. So, you know, everyone's going to be struggling out there this afternoon. And they're just going to have to deal with it. Well in, Johnson gets across nicely. Clears that danger. Goes out for a corner though. We conceded, first of all, from a corner. Can we get rid of it? Oh, and we've conceded again. And it's the same player. The same player. Why are we not picking him up? Who's number 7? Gromek. Not picking up your player. It's annoying because they've not scored against us in open play. They've had to rely on corners. So we are going to be working on our defensive set pieces in training this week, boys. Francis heads that over. Unfortunately, in the first couple of games of the season, that was going in, you know. But we're definitely becoming a little bit off the boil in terms of our goal scoring prowess, unfortunately, in the league. Well, I say that. Just in this game. But it's just annoying because it's a combination of both of them playing bad. Hugo's having an absolute shocker. We have no one to bring on for him, though, because of the injuries that we had. And that's going to mean this result that Tranmere go 3 points clear of us and we're only 1 point clear of Crewe. Francis also wants to be substituted. haven't really got anyone who I can bring on for you, so you're both going to have to just deal with it. But there we go, a 2-0 loss. I'm just going to say I'm not happy with the performance out there. I don't think any of them specifically played well. We've got 19 at risk of injury. Jeez. Who have we actually got next? We've got Altrincham, and luckily against Birmingham, we can just rotate as much as possible. Altrincham, where are Altrincham in the league? 14th, so you would think that we can do a little bit more rotation there. So there we go, probably a slightly longer episode than what we're used to, obviously with the FA Cup going to extra time. But I hope you've enjoyed. Do hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment down below. What should we do with regards to this squad fatigue that I feel like we're really starting to get hit hard with? And that could potentially derail the form that's going into the league with the amount of rotations that we need to do. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep watching the journey, as hopefully we continue flying through the Sky Bet League 2 campaign.